One. Hey, everybody. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. I am your host, Jody Williams, and my guest today, national champion. He went to IFA Worlds in France, and you know what? Probably one of the strongest guys you ever want to meet. My guest is Wayne Withers. Wayne, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, Jody. Thanks for asking. How you doing out that way?
Dealing with the snow, but all right. you know.
Snowing a little bit out there. It's still in the 80s here in Mississippi.
Do y'all know what snow is over there?
Every once in a while we get it, and we're so happy to get it. And then it's melted by lunchtime. So,
So another one of the reasons why I brought you on because you went to nationals, you got first place, and I think you got a win on Cody Merritt. Yes.
yeah, I had to pull Cody two times. Cody didn't lose to nobody else. No.
Okay, so tell us that experience. I mean, we all know he's known for his left, but when you got him right-handed, man, how did that feel to you? And did he give you any kind of praise and stuff?
Yeah, the only other time I'd ever pulled Cody was at the Nationals in California, and he kind of halfway got me in a hook, and he really loaded me. And I was starting to get in trouble, so I had to elbow foul and get a restart. And
Right.
he was out of gas. I mean, his right is really strong, but on this day at the Nationals in Texas, no, I was just way too much for him. But impressively, I've seen him beat some really good right-handers here recently. So his right's really coming up good. I think the guy that from Texas, I'm sorry I forget his name, but the guy that pulled Don Underwood and beat Don Underwood pretty convincingly at Monster Michael Todd's show. I think Cody just went through him pretty easily right-handed, if I'm not mistaken.
Talking about
Uh,
Corey West? Or
no,
no, he from
uh,
Texas. It wasn't Burnett, was it?
no, it was his name is Devlin or something. I can't remember, but he's a national champion.
Okay.
And like I say, he beat Don Underwood pretty convincingly, and then I think he lost to Cody Merritt. So Cody's right is really coming alive. Really good.
Yeah, yes. I mean, that's something to say. So, national champion, right hand. So then it was like, okay, well, guess what? I guess I'm going to France for the IFA Worlds. And how'd you place that at Worlds?
I really don't even know what I placed. I didn't even keep up with it. I figured second place was just the first loser. uh, I was watching a lot of film. I'm sorry, I was watching the guy from Poland pull left-handed that day before,
Yeah.
and I knew he was a presser. And he looked like a young version of Jerry Cataract. So I called Travis Bajent and I called a few other arm wrestlers back in the States, and everybody told me something a little different to pull him. And I knew I was in trouble then. So I think he was really in my head. I was in his head. When he beat me, he hugged me. He was running around the arena. He was saying, "Oh my God!" He said that all his buddies told him that I was gonna beat him easily. But we go, and when the slip happens, I was like, "Man, he's not that strong at all." And I put the strap on overconfident, and he was just too much. He pushed me sideways. So I walked down to the beach, and I was like, man, just sad, thinking, man, man, I can't believe I lost. And I said, no, I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk to him and I'm going to ask him, how does he train for that press?
Right.
And we talked, we're becoming good friends. We talk pretty regular now, but it was just his day to win. Uh, my second match was against this guy from Sweden, I believe. I think the first guy that I pulled was the Great Britain national champion. And I
Okay.
think I think he kind of knows how to block the guy from Poland's move, but I don't think they ever met in a tournament. So he took third place. I think a guy from Iran took second, and the guy from Poland took first. But that was my first match was the Great Britain guy, and I beat him.
Right.
But I think I was having so much trouble with the second match, the referee was just being an ass. Is all I can say. I mean, like centers this way, just pulling on my hand. In my opinion, I started at the front of the pad, and the guy I was pulling was way back here where he was more comfortable. They said go. I'm taking him over. He picks his elbow up, gets elbow fire, gets a restart. I think he got just what he needed the second match, and he beat me. But like I say, the guy from Great Britain beat him.
Right.
So I didn't like the setup that I got in the second match at all. I normally don't complain about stuff like that, but it was all around. It was bad for me. Uh, it just makes me want it that much more.
Yeah.
I'm just training that much harder for next year now. So
Well, I tell you what, when you compete on that high level and you go over there thinking, okay, like you said, you got this guy from Great Britain, you got this guy from Poland. I mean, you got all these different, athletes from different parts of the country that you're not familiar with. I mean, normally as pullers, you go to a tournament within the states, you kind of have an idea of who they are and what they do. But when you go on the national stage, or I should say international stage, then it's like, okay, you got to be ready for everything, and you don't know this guy from that guy, and that guy doesn't know you. So it kind of works both ways. But, then you got the strict refereeing and stuff. So tell me some of the experiences about you had about the strict ref. Like, I got to make sure any micro fraction of my elbow coming off, they're going to call that. So tell us everybody in the chat about that.
yeah, a lot of people was complaining with the riffing from overseas, from Europe.
Right.
I know Leonard was in an argument with some guy from Poland there. I think he was in a different weight class, and I think Leonard asked him how old he was, and the guy told him, and Leonard's like, "Well, hey, I got underwear older than you." It's like you don't know nothing.
Because Leonard would say something like that.
Uh, Leonard told what got me in my second match was that the referee kept doing my hand like this. Well, I'm already straight. By the time the match started, I'm here. That's after he elbow files and we restart.
Right.
So I'm here, and the referee, he's hurting the back of my hand. Literally
Right.
by the start, I'm like this. Now, I don't care who's watching, IFA or whatever, this is how my match started. And when I tell Leonard what happened, Leonard said, well, you should have started like this, and that way when he done that, you'd be straight.
Right.
So you're telling me to start in a cheating setup. Because if you tell me to start like this, and when he does that, I'm straight. Now, no, I shouldn't have to do that. If I'm
No.
starting straight and I'm starting fair, that's how the match should start. So the second match, I start dead like this, and when they say go, I'm screwed. I'm already at the front of the pad. The other guy's at the back of the pad. Anyway, I'm not one to complain. So, but that's what I got from it. And I know when I go back, yeah, I'm supposed to start crooked in.
Well, okay, so the only person who likes to go like that is probably Jerry anyway, so he doesn't care. But
Right.
the thing is though, is that we as athletes already know that you try to get some kind of advantage, right? And I've always taught my guys, yeah, we always train straight, but at the same time, it's up to the referee to straighten you out. So I guess sometimes, you may come in here like this, and it's like, okay, let the ref straighten it. Because then I know for a fact, okay, at least I know I'm not going backwards. Where if you start straight and then you got somebody go, hey, straighten that. I'm like, I am straight. All of a sudden you're like that. I'm thinking, okay, now I don't like this. But I'm thinking, well, if I'm gonna be like that, then guess what? I'm gonna reposition my body. Now I'm coming like that. Because if push come to shove and they're gonna go this way and my wrist buckles back, guess what? I'm gonna drive my elbow in. Now you got to go through my hand and elbow, and good luck with that, especially if you're in a strap. So I mean, it's just there's a mind game, a psychological game that people play on that level. And you got to taste of that. You're straight, and they're going like that. I'm like, dude, I am straight, and of
Yeah.
course, you don't want to sit there and go, okay, well, throw the red flag. Here's my $50. I want you to review that call, whatever, off of something like that. So, but sometimes it happens. How many guys were in your class?
Uh, there was 22 to 24. It's somewhere around in that area. But you could have protested for $50.
Yeah.
Pay $50 and you protest. I didn't like that referee at all. I don't know where in the hell he was from. His damn breath stunk. Everything about that guy. My second match, that guy can go to hell. That referee. I mean, I did not like that bastard whatsoever. I hope he's listening. But Leonard and Denise, I love them. They put up with a lot from me. And this story I'm going to tell you, if this don't get your listeners rolling in the floor laughing, I don't know what will. But
Let's go. Let's do it.
first night there, I'm an early to bed, early riser kind of guy. So I'm up at 2:30 in the morning. My flight out of Mississippi don't leave to 2:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
That flight's delayed. My flight finally leaves from Dallas to Paris somewhere around between 9:30 and 10 p.m. that night. Well, I got sleep apnea. I cannot sleep without my machine. And for 10
Right.
hours on a flight like this, in between two people, because lucky me always gets the middle seat. So the guy at the airport was an ass. He wouldn't change my seat without charging me like $250. I'm like, screw it, I'll just sit there. So, you can run into some people that's good. Some people just offer to change your seat when they see you're 7 foot tall, and then some of them don't care. But anyway, I get to Paris. It takes forever to find an Uber. It's an hour Uber ride, give or take. Then
Right.
two train rides to get to the city I'm in. Then I walk 2 football fields to my hotel.
Damn.
Well, then I get out, and like I say, I've been up at 30 something hours by now. I am tired. So what's going to make me sleep a little bit better? Mix me a few whiskey drinks. So mix me a few whiskey drinks, go to bed. I don't even know what damn time it is, where in the hell I'm at, whatever. We're 7 hours ahead.
Right.
I wake up locked outside of my hotel room, butt ass naked.
Come on, man. What happened?
No underwear, no nothing. And I mean, I'm just, how you wake up and you think it's a dream. And
Right.
we're in this funny ass looking hotel with these funny little numbers on the front that you can't miss. And I look and I said, this is my hotel. I'm freaking awake and I'm outside of my hotel room and I'm naked. And I always preach to my students to relate numbers to stuff, to memorize numbers.
Right.
Anything you do in life. In France, they don't give you the little card to swipe. It's a code you put in.
Oh,
So
damn.
I take my cell phone and I take this code and I take a picture of it. So anytime I go outside to mix a drink or whatever, when I come back up, I just take my cell phone out and I put this code in.
Right.
It would have took me about 30 seconds to have memorized this number, which would have come in real damn handy when I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, butt naked outside of my hotel room. But I didn't have a cell phone. So 37 was how old my cousin was when he had a motorcycle accident and passed away. 03, that was 03.
Okay.
I was 41 last year. You bet
Okay.
your ass I remember that number the next day after that. And I'll never forget it now because that's how easy it would have been to memorize that number. But the lady beside me was an arm wrestler. She heard me out there going crazy. She's like, do you need a towel? I'm like, yeah. She gives me a towel. Uh, she goes downstairs, gets the hotel management to let me back in my room, and they're just laughing their ass off. Like, oh, this happens all the time. I'm like, oh, really? So I tell the lady, the arm wrestler, I don't even know her name. I tell them, like, let's just keep this between us. I get to the damn tournament the next day, and every damn body knows about it. Everybody. Sean Hancock's calling me outside talking about, Denise called me this morning. I got one name for you, Wayne Weathers. Wayne freaking Weathers. And telling me I can't compete in the IFA if that happens again. I'm like, well, I was asleep. I didn't know what I was doing. No, he wasn't asleep. He was drinking. Well, hell, I drink when I go to tournaments all the time. This has never happened before. Something was
Right.
wrong. So Leonard walked up to me. He's like, I heard you join a nudist colony since you come to France. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I got y'all. And Leonard's like, the same thing happened to me one time. He said, we was in Poland or somewhere, and he said, I had my underwear on, though. And I'm like, well, what I need to do different? And Denise is like, next time, sleep with your damn clothes on. Exactly what I did. As a matter of
Oh,
fact, I had
man.
a shirt on, I had pants, I had everything on. But
Hey,
I feel like I've been up 40 hours, mix a few drinks, get as comfortable as possible, right? Go
right.
to bed. Hey, it is a weird feeling when you're in another country and you wake up naked outside of your hotel room. That's a really, really weird feeling.
Makes you wonder what kind of drinks they got, but
Hey, I tell you what, it makes I don't mind too bad going to jail in the States if it comes down to it, but I definitely do not want to go to jail in France.
no, they got a different set of rules over there. So,
Yeah,
but
for real.
we got Phil Wood in the UK. He's in the house. He says, "What's up?" We got Scott Evans from Tactical Arms from Utah's in the house, And a good friend of mine, Mr. Justin Green, just had shoulder surgery. So speedy recovery from my man Justin up there in Utah. So now Wayne, Denise put a post out there. IFA Nationals, April 14th through the 16th. All we got to do is wait for confirmation on where. And everyone, and if you're on that Facebook page, IFA Nationals, everybody's saying, oh, we should have it in Ohio. What about Texas again? Hey, we should have it in Denver and, hey, closer to this place. And so it's kind of comical because everyone's putting their bid in and stuff. And they basically almost got a site, I think. I'm not sure for sure yet, but we're just waiting. We're kind of sitting up there twiddling our thumbs waiting because, hey, we all know the date. We just don't know the destination. And then as far as IFA Worlds next year, you're down to three countries: Romania, Malaysia, Finland. And we're supposed to hear about that come next month.
Just for the fact that I would love to visit Asia, I'd say Malaysia, but I know it'd be a lot further trip. You know,
Yeah.
man, it was just a life changing experience for me over there. I was lucky enough to become really good friends with a guy from over there. Not mention no names because it was just between me and him, but he offered to let me ride back in the Uber with him that Sunday morning. We was both leaving about around the same time, and he was telling me about going to all these, speaking at all these high schools and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was all tatted up, all out there and everything. And I'm thinking, no disrespect to him, but he's not that good of an arm wrestler. So what is he going to these high schools and talking about? And come to find out, he was a former addict. Had trouble with drugs and so forth. And um, I just listened to his story and was just amazed that he'd been clean and sober for like 5 years. And I've never considered myself an addict. I
Right.
like to make some drinks and have a good time, especially when I go to these tournaments. But he's like, what could a motivated Wayne Withers do that he said was no alcohol, no nicotine, a gallon of water a day? And I thought about that all the way back to the house. And I was just getting goosebumps
Mm-hmm.
thinking about what if, and that was going on 2 months ago.
Right.
Longest I've been since I was like 10 years old without a smoke, without a dip, without anything, without any alcohol. And man, do I feel like a different animal. Do I feel strong? And I just can't believe it. He's like, man, he said, that's pretty impressive for a guy that's not been to no AA meetings or anything to just
Right.
drop. And it's like I say, I never really considered myself addicted, but not every night, but I mix some drinks here and there. And I wasn't the type to smoke a pack or two of cigarettes a day, but I might smoke like one or two a day or something like that. You know.
Right.
And if I was having mixed drinks, I might have a few more, but I've never been the type of guy that's like, oh shit, I'm out of cigarettes, I better run to the store. So, but anyway, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot stronger.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's going to segue into my next question. A motivated Wayne Withers, hey man, no drinking, gallon of water a day because you got a major match coming up next month against one Tim Bresnan. Tell everybody how that match how did that match even come up? Tell everybody out there.
Oh man, my my brother from another mother, man, Todd Allen Jackson. He's always looking for me a match with somebody. We had thought about Tim, and we just got everything really finalized with Tim here just in the last couple of weeks. I mean, we knew the match was supposed to happen, and Tim and Todd got to talking. Just nailing everything down, putting the final nails in the coffin. Getting everything ready to go. Uh, I probably shouldn't have phrased it like that. That's how they was. They got everything straightened out.
Right.
Can't wait. Uh, I think that Tim is like me. He's not that fast taking off, so
Mm-hmm.
that'd be something different for me. I'm usually having to worry with somebody like Matt Mass, who's lightning fast, or Marcel Barboza or something. I think Tim is just a slow torque and puller like me. So really excited, especially since I'm on this new diet plan where it's just water. So really excited. Y'all, all y'all probably know I got to spar with Devin Lorette a few days ago, and
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, what'd you learn from that?
I learned I can put him in a shaky position. You know, some people could argue that he'd been arm wrestling a while, but some people could also argue if they hadn't even thought about this, I hadn't even warmed up. I just walked in the building. He's like, "Hey, get your ass." Had a call coming in,
Oh, okay.
but
How dare them?
but yeah, like I say, I wasn't really warmed up, and he was. That's the way I looked at it. but yeah, I got him in a couple of positions. I don't think he was really comfortable. So and this guy's probably right there. If he's not two in the world, he's at least three. He's a strong dude. So
Right. So your matchup with Tim, because I don't know if you've been watching a lot. I think Tim's last match. I'm sorry, the match before, because I think Tim's last match was against Dave Morocco, but the one before that was against Matt Mass. Because now you're like, okay, here's Tim going against somebody who's pretty tall, got a long arm, long lever, and stuff, and you do have a bigger hand than Tim, but Tim has that massive up pressure and a guy can like grip around. And he's one of the very few guys in the supers that can pull somebody in the top row and don't cap their thumb, you know. And I know you watched that match with him over and over when he pulled Matt Mass. What did you take from that?
yeah, I felt like I think Matt. He was what was the final score? I think Tim 3-1. Was that right? Matt got one win.
Yeah, I thought it was a 6 round thing, but yeah, I think Matt did get one win.
I've watched it over and over. I think that Matt was right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they was pretty evenly matched. I think if I get that kind of setup, I win. I
Right.
think you know Matt got what he wanted that in that match, and he was stopping. He was giving Tim trouble in almost every match, but Tim was finishing out. I also watched Derek pull him.
Yeah.
I think that probably Tim took Derek too lightly,
You think
and I
so?
think that Tim's been training hard ever since. You look at the match with Matt Mass, you tell it's just he's just a little different now. I think, especially against me, I'm going to see a really really strong version of him. You know, not I wouldn't not taking nothing away from Derek. Derek, he did a really good job. But I was watching that match a little earlier. It's just total hand control with Derek that day. Just getting up over him and just smashing him. So, uh, hey, like a lot of people said about me and Matt Mask, he wasn't ready. uh,
Right.
I've heard that over and over with my match with Matt. Like I say, definitely don't want to say nothing against Derek, but I think that Derek really woke up Tim. So now, like I say, he's coming back. He looked awesome against, uh, I used to call his name Morocco. He looked awesome against Morocco. Just absolute power,
Right.
So we'll just have to see. You never know. All I know is he's going to see the strongest version of Wayne Weathers that there's ever been. The
There you
strongest,
go.
most sober gallon of water a day. I mean, that's a big. Usually just about every tournament I go to, the night before. I mean, I've been training hard for these tournaments. I want
Yeah.
to go to these places and have a good time. But I got to think about it. I never feel like anytime I go to the gym, if I've went out and partied the night before, it's like I shouldn't even went to the gym that day. It's just horrible. I don't feel good, and I got to do the same thing when I go to these tournaments, right?
Mhm.
Can't be showing out. Can't be out partying all night when I got a pull the next day. I think it was me and the guy that you had your super match with, left-handed. That
Uh,
you
Jeff
did.
Frank?
No, the guy. Damn, I know him. I know him as good as I know my own name. But from who pulled past more out in Arizona?
Oh, you talking about Robbie Topi?
Robbie. Yeah, man. Me and Robbie, we hit the town before I pulled Underwood. And that was his excuse. He's like, "Man, come on and go out with me." He said, "Hell, you're only pulling Underwood tomorrow."
Dude, I woke up the next day and I'm like, dude, what the hell, man? You're like, oh yeah, we stayed up kind of late. I'm like, dude, like, man, I mean, for those that don't know, Arizona State, that happened in the spring this year. That was hosted by Arm Sports Entertainment, and we go to this restaurant, right? Okay. Bob Brown's, taking care of the beer tab and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, sweet. Tim and Kayla took care of the dinner tab, and we're all having a good time. Wayne, myself, Topi, Passmore, everybody was there. Coach Ray, I mean, we were all just hanging out. Artem, and I'm thinking, cool. Got my beer. I'm feeling good. Got my dinner. Okay, cool. We all going to head back, back to the hotel. And then, Wayne and Robert like going, nah, man, it's too early. And then y'all go out there and it's like going, man, what is going on? And I saw you next morning. I'm thinking, I'm in the lobby getting ready to go get some breakfast. I see Wayne there. I'm like, hey, man, you fired up today? You were like, we just got in a couple hours ago. I'm thinking, dude, what? What?
Yeah, and that was a hell of a weekend, man. I could write that in the books along with France because, Sunday I go to they got a practice table in the hotel and they got all this liquor everywhere. And this is Sunday.
Right.
And I'm still partying. I'm talking to you, I'm partying. We take me and you take the taxi or the Uber or whatever to the airport.
Yeah.
And we part ways. And they tell me, oh, I'm sorry, you can't go home for another 2 days because, there's bad weather in Dallas.
Yeah.
So I take an Uber to another hotel and have to stay 2 more nights in Arizona. The partying continues, man.
Well, you didn't have a match then, so it's all good.
It's every time I go somewhere, man. I mean, I'm the guy that you want to hang out with.
Yeah, see? So another thing I want to ask you, because last year, I don't know, did they have the Olympia tournament already this year? Or was that later this month?
That's what I'm waiting on. I think the Olympia is going to be the week after Washington State.
Okay, because I know last year you went there and you made a hell of a showing there too.
Yeah, come down to me and Dave Chafee for the 10,000, and hey, it was Dave Chafee, right? what can you do, man? I mean, that guy is insane. It's just, I think I pulled him the wrong way. I think instead of trying to low hand top roll him, I need to just try to cap and go over. But I don't think man, that dude's insane powerful, But hey, it gives me something to look forward to. I want to say they're going to do Mr. Olympia in Las Vegas this year.
That'd be nice, that'd be a better place. Because I know you had to go through Chance Shaw to get there, to get to that finals and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, it come down to, I think the winner between me and Chance Shaw, the winner got 2,500 and the loser got 1,000 or whatever.
Okay.
It was right in Chance's backyard because he lives down there. I had to drive like 10 freaking hours. I wasn't letting Chance beat me.
Yeah, there you go. See, I like that. Yeah. And like I said, then, you and Schaefer pulling for the title, thinking, all right, that right there, because you had a match with Don Underwood, my man Don, good friend of mine and stuff, 1-3-0. And then, you're kind of like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and lay low a little bit. Then you went to the Olympia, finished second to Chafee. Then, hey, here come, it's like the stuff you were doing, it was like, all right, national champion, went to IFA Worlds. So what's in store? Is it too early to say what's in store for Wayne Withers in 2023?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to pulling Tim. I always have an awesome time when I go to Ohio and hang out with Ty Jackson. Like I say, man, that guy he's the reason where I am right now. He always hits me out. Good dude. Uh, like I say, I wish they would go ahead and tell me what the hell is going on with the Mr. Olympia because that's something I'm really interested in. I want to be out there in Vegas. I want to go to that tournament. If they're giving money like they gave last year, because I don't have sponsors really beside Ty Jackson and a couple others. So I need to know so I can start, looking for plane tickets and so forth.
Right.
After that, of course, I want to go back to the IFA Nationals. I want to win. I want to go overseas one more time. I want to try to win that world title at least one more time. And then I'm going to probably not train as hard because these little state tournaments and stuff, I can pretty much show up and be favored to win, not going to the gym every freaking day. I can just get back and I can start fishing a little bit and doing this, that, and the other. But when you train at the level like I do, I'm always in the gym. If I have free time, that's where I'm at. I'm not I don't fish, I don't hunt. It's not really because I don't want to. It's because I don't have the time. my best friend I grew up with, he asked me to go hunting with him all the time. Well, I don't have time. You know, if I'm not in the gym training, somebody else is. You know, and I kept eating online, man, just from going over there training with Devin the other day. It's like people hates me when I do stuff like that. They're online saying, "Oh, if Devin keeps training with these weak people like this, you know," and the only thing they was watching was the video of me and Devin training. Oh,
Right.
this guy's a bum. He's a loser and all this stuff. And I mean, just hate mail after hate mail after hate mail. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I do?
Well, look at it this way: when you start getting good, you start getting recognized and stuff. You're going to get hate, man. That's just the way it is. So,
Yeah, man, you
but
got a thick skin in this sport. You know, everybody
right.
talking shit, talking about me. If you get, my son was like, you should check out some of the comments, and I knew that was a bad idea. I shouldn't even look. You know.
Chucky Peterson's in the house. Rush Furter said they made a post of, that is going to be part of the Olympia, but nothing was said about the payouts yet. So I guess we still got to wait and see what's going on with that.
Hey, Russ, man, shoot that over to my messenger. I want to check that out because I talked to Tim the other day uh, out in Arizona, and he's like, "Man, we're finalizing it right now." Because I'm real interested in that tournament. I really want to go check it out again. You know, I had a good time down in Orlando. I really did. And being in Vegas would be just that much sweeter, you know.
There you go. Well, I think now, and I don't want to sound bad about this because, local tournaments is where everybody gets their big shot. But you just made a comment about, you know what? I could just show up to a state tournament untrained and just kind of walk away with the win, which you could because now you're on the upper echelon. So you probably have nothing to prove there unless you're just bored and need something to do. But I will say this: now that you're on this upper echelon of pullers and stuff, you know, are there some guys on your radar? And if they are, who are they?
Oh man, maybe just some of these overseas guys, like the guy from Poland with the good press. I really want to work on my press a lot. I want to add that to my game.
Okay.
If you notice, you go back and watch a video of me and Devin, I've already been training my press a lot. I'm talking about just in a short period of time, just listening to this guy from Poland because, you know, I'm over there talking to him. We're hanging out, and I'm like, I know Jerry Cadderat's doing 4 or 5 for sets of 50 or sets of 10 reps, whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
telling him, like, no, man. He said, I never bench press. He said because in my move, thanks, Russ. He just sent that over to me. Appreciate it, brother. But in the moves he was talking about, he never separates nothing right here, and he's got these cables over his head. He's just pushing straight down. And
Right.
really makes a lot of sense. So I've been doing that a lot in my gym. I ask them because I'm living in a different area now. Can I bring my old training table, my little half table out, and bring it to your gym and leave it there? And they're like, "Yeah, man, but somebody breaks it." I said, "Look, I don't care if somebody steals it. Just say I can leave it here." And it's really
Right.
been out because I grab these cables and I'm pulling down, and I'm training that way. And I don't care what anybody says. Like say, several different people told me how to block that press that day, but when it comes down to it, Jerry Cadderat's a bad MFer. That's all it is to it. A guy comes out of retirement for 3 or 4 years and beats one of the top arm wrestlers in the world. So you know, it's a major it's a major tool to have in your tackle box if you're
Yeah.
good at that press. You know.
So about the
Sorry,
if
I'm getting all kind of stuff. I get so popular when I go on one of these Zoom meetings.
oh, I
Don't
know.
do
See
crap.
that?
Don't
So
do
we have a
crap for
comment.
3 days.
Oh, exactly. So we have a comment, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Lagia. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. When people are ignorant, they just assume everyone they don't know is automatically bad. Remember when people told John to retire after losing to Unger Bayev? And first of all, you gotta understand, Unger Bayev, he was one of the original top 8 guys back when they had it before COVID kicked in. He was a part of that top 8 with Bresden and Levon and and all those other guys. Unger Bayev was in that group, and Rustin Babayev, and the list goes on and on. But he was in Vitaly, So Unger Bayev was a part of that. Now, this is where I think arm wrestling fans are fickle. If you don't know exactly what you're watching, because we have a new this 2022 in the last 3 years, I should say, probably the last 3 or 4 years. this new wave of arm wrestling fans, only see what they've been seeing on YouTube the last 3 or 4 years. Where if you look beyond that, if you're real, I don't want to say I'm a specialist, but you know, it's just like they said, um, you got to know your arm wrestlers. Just because someone loses doesn't mean they're horrible, right? Now,
Yep.
granted, Brzezinski I thought would have won, but Angarbayev shocked the whole world to a certain degree. I mean, he shocked me because of the fact that when he beat John Brzezinski, the country of Kazakhstan bought him a goddamn apartment. So that's just crazy in itself. But when you're on that level up here, you got to understand that there are no weak people, not at all. You go to King of the Table, there's nobody weak there. You go to Arm Wars, you go to East First West, there is nobody that's weak over there. Okay, and people got to understand that. And that's all I'm trying to say. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, man, it's just a different level. The competition, it's insane, man. I never wanted something so much in my life. I started out getting my ass kicked for years. Back
Mm-hmm.
then, I had a book on how to be an arm wrestler. Didn't win a pro match for 5 years. I had nobody to train with, nobody to tell me nothing. I
Right.
was the only arm wrestler in Mississippi. Uh, I put on the very first tournament here in Mississippi. Now, Sean, Brad Mann, all these guys, they take care of. They do a great job, a lot better job than I was doing. Me and BJ both agree. We don't want to be referees. We don't want to work when we go to a tournament. Me and him has had the most success in Mississippi as far as arm wrestlers go. Because we're the ones that really travel, really get out. We're going somewhere all the time. BJ made me better. Uh, I went to college for 2 years full time and couldn't train whatsoever, and he started kicking my ass. And then, after a while, I'm like, hey, look, this is my state. So I really had to start back getting in the gym and training and working hard. And a lot of people says that BJ would be a lot better if he trains, but I mean, if he goes to the gym. But it's kind of hard to go to the gym because BJ trains at practice a lot. So if you go to practice a lot, it's hard to go to the gym. You got to kind of pick your poison. I'm sorry, not pick your poison, just pick what you prefer to do. Like me, I'm more of a gym guy. I go to practice, here and there. I went to practice down south in Hattiesburg a couple of weeks ago when I shouldn't have went. But I had just bought that new Dodge Challenger and I wanted to ride a little bit. And I had just been in the gym like the day before, and I had been working my ass off in the gym. So I go to practice, and like inside of 30 minutes, I don't tell nobody shit. I'm like, oh, I
Right.
walk in the car, and I'm just like, I get in the car and leave. So you can't, I don't think you can do both. I think you got to do one or the other. And I just prefer gym because I prefer to go lift heavy and then go to a tournament, and kick some butt.
So we got a question for Table Ninjas production. I'm assuming this is for you there, Wayne. Would you like to travel to South Dakota?
Man, I would love to travel to South Dakota. I've never been to South Dakota, and this is your opportunity to book me a match out there, guy, whoever you are. All I need is a plane ticket and a hotel, and I'm there. I would love to travel out that way.
And see that because now, like I just said earlier in the show, have earned that right of this upper echelon to say, hey, you know what? I've done it. I've beaten the best. I've pulled some of the best. I went on the international stage, on the world grand stage, and did some damage and stuff. You've earned that moniker. Go, yeah, hook me up. Let me know what's going on. Um, and by the way, Rush Trader says, Wayne, what is your main focus in the gym?
Mom, I'm proud you asked that because I had been practicing solely on my hand and wrist. Uh, my last practice before I went to France was 10 sets of 10 on 365 reverse wrist curl. And then I was forced to drop down to 275 for 10 sets of 10, just reverse wrist curl. And my wrist was just about to fall off, man. My fingers was hurting so bad. And I was starting to have a lot of trouble in this area from holding that much weight.
Right.
But I got to thinking back at some of my best victories, like when I beat Mass, when I beat Bath. When I beat a lot of these guys, my main focus by accident was back pressure. And the reason why I say that was because I was working a lot back in those days. And now I can kind of kick back with this teaching job I got, and I can kind of lift as much as I want to. But back then, I had weights in my locker at work. And about the only thing I could really do with these heavy dumbbells was back pressure. So
Right.
anytime I go take a piss or whatever I was doing at work that night, to my locker, back pressure, back pressure, back pressure, back pressure. And I got, like I said, I got to thinking that was my best success. When I beat Matt Mass, it wasn't wrist. I was doing like 225 reverse wrist curls for sets of 20. And I couldn't even think about doing 315. Now I can do like 4 or 5. But I was doing a lot more back pressure back in the day, and I'm focusing more on that for my match with Tim. It was like a little angel on my shoulder told me, "Hey, you need to do back pressure. You need to go back to that."
So, when you're using that, you said all the pain is about right here, right?
Right from here to here.
Do you ever use like a fat grip to alleviate all that pain?
No, well, it would be kind of hard to use a fat grip doing a reverse wrist curl because that would have your hand open so much. I,
Gotcha.
I think the pain is coming from where I'm picking up
Oh,
the
okay.
405 or the 365, getting it from my fingers over into my wrist is
Gotcha.
where the, and like I say, I'm just slacking off of that, and I'm gonna play this hand and see what happens. I'm just focusing 80 and 90% on back pressure right now. Doing a lot of preacher curls and like
Yeah.
letting the weight hang low and really concentrating on real heavy weight, pulling it up just to see. I'm gonna see how it works out. You know,
There you go.
I'm
So
gonna
table
play
so
that hand.
Table Ninjas production is Dean Marshall, and he's the guy that, hey, you want to come to South Dakota. Now they just had a tournament this past weekend, and I'm telling you right now, they got some studs over there in South Dakota. And the thing about it is that not a lot of people outside that area knows about them, right? So I mean, you walk in there, you walk into the Wolf's Den because there's a buddy of mine that went in there in Jersey and just got annihilated, by Sonny Larson. And I'm telling you, they got some studs in there. So Dean Marshall is your guy, Table Ninjas Production. He's the guy you want to get a hold of there, Wayne. So Dean, get a hold of Wayne, make it happen.
Yeah, everybody ain't got one of these. That's a championship ring. So,
What's that from?
I just happened to look over here in my. I'm at my office right now,
Right.
and I just happened to. I got that in my little thing, but I won that at one of Paul. Oh hell, I'm horrible.
Oh, is that one of those PAF rings?
It is. Yeah, PF
Oh,
champ.
that's the
Yeah,
Anthony Laterio rings, right?
that's it. That is
Yeah. Damn it. I remember one year
little
I had
ring.
an opportunity to win two of them and I came in second. So I was kind of bummed out about that. But
I might have won that ring when I beat Bath. That was at his nationals. The PF. I'm sorry, the Paul Anthony
Laterio.
Anthony dude that you just said.
Yeah.
That was his nationals or whatever his finals, and it was me and Ron Bath there that day, and I think Jerome Loud won the 242s, and he was picking on me. He's like, "I'm going to get him to do the overalls, and I'm going to beat you because I had beat Jerome every time we'd ever pulled."
Right.
And I had just had to beat Bath 3 freaking times because the referee called a bad elbow foul on me. So I had to beat Bath a third time. Uh, Jerome talks him into doing overalls, and then I smashed Jerome. So I'm like, he was talking trash. We slip, and Jerome was like, "Yeah, we're gonna put this strap on and see what happens." I'm just quiet. Yeah, I'm like, "You're just bringing the pigeons to the cat, my friend." When we strap up, you're the one that's going to be in trouble, not me. But yeah, you think about Jerome, Herman Stevens, a lot of these lighter guys that I beat. That's not super heavyweights, but they can sign up for just about any super heavyweight contest in North America and be favored to win, and probably
Yeah.
win. They're really good arm wrestlers. Uh, I got some pretty good wins under my belt. I pat myself on the shoulder when it comes to that.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of titles do you got because there's a lot of belts circulating around here. We got top row belts, we got PAF belts. I know Russ had a top row belt once upon a time, and he has some other belts. Passmore got some belts. Sonny Larson up in South Dakota got a top row belt. Tell me you have in your possession a belt, yes or no?
The only belt I had in my possession was, man, I love that belt, was the country band that Matt Chop puts on. But you got
Oh, yeah. Okay. Contraband days.
yeah, you got to send that belt back in the mail if you don't compete. So I won it 1 year. I went down there 1 year, and Travis Bajent showed up back when he was a whole lot better than me, and he took my damn belt. So I go back and I win the belt. I think it was 2019. I think BJ won it back to back after that.
Right.
I think Carl Staley's got it right now. Carl Stanley, I'm sorry. Uh, I think he's got the belt right now. I haven't went back and tried to get it, but I got that belt that year, and I went around to a lot of places, like to some middle schools my kids was going to, and I showed it to the kids, and they all love. I love that belt, man. It's like a big WWE style belt.
Yeah.
But no, I have the only reason I was at the finals for Anthony Otero was because the Man Brothers is going. It was like, hey, do you want to ride down to Atlanta? And I get there, and there's Ryan Baff and everything, and it was a fun tournament though. Didn't know I'd get to pull Ryan that day, but he showed up. So, yeah.
And see, I understand, and I'm a sucker for awards, as you can see behind me. My stuff there, aside from all the medals. But I sit there and like, you got swords in the Midwest. If you go up north Midwest, you got gorillas, statues for awards. You got the belts down south and things like that. And you know what? And the hammers and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of cool because then you can always put those up for grabs. Now, I know with contraband days, those belts are exclusive to the Louisiana tournament. So it's not like you can win it and again go to another tournament and put up for grabs. It's exclusive to that, which I get. But there's got to be a belt floating around somewhere. You can sit there and go, "Hey, I want to challenge you for that belt." And I'm not sure how you go about that. Do you?
I don't know. I think as far as those belts go for Anthony and all, I think Paul Passmore has like every freaking one, right? He's got like 10
It
of
seems like it.
them. He's got one time they done a tournament out in Atlanta, and me and BJ rode out, and they had like this big cool hammer, man. It was like it made the WL hammer look bad. It was
Wow.
like 6 foot tall or whatever, just this big steel hammer. And I remember I won that hammer that day. I think in overalls I had to pull the bishops. I think Justin's brother and Justin's dad. I had to pull them in the overalls. I can't remember who all showed up in the supers, but Passmore was there.
Right.
Kind of before Passmore made a real big name for himself. But yeah, I've won some cool trophies. I got a trophy room, man, with all kind of. I mean, you can walk around all day looking at that room, and you know the pictures and the trophies I've got from over the years. Because, like I say, it took a long time for me to start winning, but when I started winning, it was like an explosion. I started winning. I think I got somewhere right now. I've got somewhere between 45 and 50 professional titles, like between state, pro am, backwoods, whatever you want to call it. But
Right.
a lot of times that's when your best talent to show up. You never
Yeah.
know who's going to show up at these tournaments.
There you go. So I know for a fact that once you got Tim Breslin, you kind of sitting back, kind of waiting on the Olympia, and then that'll probably put a bow tie, on 2022, and then you want to figure out, okay, 2023. But before we get to that, you got a question from Preacher Arm Wrestling. He wants to know, Wayne, how old are you, sir?
I am the ripe old age of 42. 42
There you
years.
go.
I don't know how many more years I got. I'm going to pat myself on the back and say if I would have entered the Masters in IFA, I would have walked away pretty easily. I get dogged out so bad for pulling Masters. I've only done it like once or twice. I pulled Masters in Alabama a few years ago because, like, hey, I got there and they was only giving money for the overalls.
Right.
Why not jump in this Masters class, breeze right through it, and then when
Hey, there is nothing wrong
you
with
know,
master's class, right? Okay, I'm gonna tell everybody right now, there's nothing wrong with that because I'll be 47 in about 3 months. So there's nothing wrong with pulling the masters. So also, what when did you start competing? Or what age?
I started when I was like 29, 28, somewhere around in that area. So
Right.
I waited a long damn time to pull masters. And then the problem was when I was 40, I'm a lot better arm wrestler at 40 than I was at 30. So
Right.
hey, you don't have no business being in a master's class. And even Glenn Brooks has private messaged before, hey, don't run off all my master guys. Because, like when I sign up for masters, all of them run for the damn hills. And like, I've had people call me before, like, what are you pulling? I'm like, well, what the hell do you think? I'm pulling supers open. Okay, well, I thought you was pulling.
Oh,
So,
you
like,
know what? Well, it's like, how many people, and if we go to the IFA Worlds last year in Orlando, how many super heavyweights thought that Michael Todd was going to jump in that class in the Masters? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people thought that? Like, you had to be like, oh, if you're like Kevin Butts, you probably went, really?
Michael Todd,
Really?
man. I mean, come on now.
But I think,
uh,
for Michael Todd, though, I think that world title, that was the one title he never had, because every title, any organization Michael Todd has had except for a actual world title. That was the one thing he never had. I mean, I think he got a world wrist wrestling title, but I mean, PAL, he's won it. He might have won a PAF. WAL, he's run it. UAL, he's won it. NAL, he's won it. So I think, the actual world title was the one thing that eluded him. And so I think he's like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that way, in my eyes, that guy's probably the most decorated guy, because any organization that's been out there, some way, somehow, Michael Todd has been the guy. And of course, now they got the East versus West now and King of the Table. So still, he's probably reaching for that now. But, up until those leagues came in existence, I mean, he was the most decorated guy because he took first place and he was like the title holder at some time or another. So,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, there's no question in my mind. I would have won the IFA Masters easy. I would have won the Open. The only
yeah,
thing was this guy from Poland was in my head. He was more in my head than he was on the table. After I won a couple of matches. I pulled him and he beat me in the straps. And I know in the back of my mind, it's more than likely going to come down to me and this guy again. I let my emotions get the better of me. Like I say, the second match I lost should have never happened. I shouldn't have lost that match. I go back to the after party and no, there's no way. I pulled this guy again. No way.
right,
Like I say, the guy from Britain beats him, obviously, to get to that third spot. I didn't get to pull the guy from Iran, but he had a good top row. I'd have loved to pull him. So I'm thinking I was prepared for everything except this press, and that was my fault. I
right,
should have prepared better. I should have talked to more people. I should have watched footage, like for instance when Devin Lorette beat Jerry Caderet in WL. I think Devin cheated his ass off when he beat him. I think that if they would have both been back center like this, I think Jerry wins that match all day long.
well,
Just a hard move to. It's a hard move to block. It's hard to block. People tell you, "Oh, all you got to use is back pressure. All you got to do is this." But the reality is, when they say go, you feel something. If they're a good presser, you feel something that you're not prepared to feel. You can't train for this. Look at like I say, Jerry comes out of retirement and beats Gennady.
yeah,
And Gennady's like, oh, I bet my house again. You can't beat me. No, what it is, you've never pulled somebody like Jerry Caderet before, and he's fixing to hand your ass to you on a silver platter. And that's
right.
exactly what happened.
And it's all about matchups. And I'll answer Jay's Clean's question. Did Mike Todd ever compete at Zloty? He did. I want to say 2017 or maybe 2018. He went down there and he was training for Nemiroff Zloty. And that's when he was, doing his crazy workouts and he popped his pec. So he had to like either bow out or he went there and took like 6 or something like that. But I remember he was doing that. So yes, he did compete at Zloty. So let me take that back. He's never won Zloty, but then again, Devin Laird's never been in Zloty either. So, go figure. But with the stuff we got now, because here's my last question I got for you, because I really want to know where you stand. When are we going to see Wayne at a Arm Wars, King of the Table, East versus West show? When's that going to happen?
Up to those guys, man. I mean, they're taking guys to the East versus West that I've beat I can name 6 or 7 off the top of my head that I have beat, but I never get the call. Nope, he never calls me for East versus West match. Let's say Chance Shaw, uh, Ron Bath, Matt Mask. There's 3 right off the top of my head. He's taking guys that haven't built up as high as I have in the arm wrestling world as well over there, and they're getting matches. So I don't get the call. I think it's probably because I don't have a high YouTube following as the rest of them, but definitely at a competitive level, yeah. Now that's the one I would love. King of the Table, I would love that. Yeah, that would be worth me going and pulling one match.
Right.
Versus West, I'm not so sure that I want to go to Turkey just to pull one guy. But now going to Dubai, yeah, that's something I would probably do. My God, I mean, Schoolboy, he pulls over there. I think Schoolboy would be in a world of trouble trying to top rope me. I don't think he has a chance in hell. So yeah, I mean, why not? Why not give me that match? Not saying. I mean, hey, it's a promotion thing nowadays. And Schoolboy blows everybody out of the water. He blows Devin Lorette out of the water when it comes to promotions, when it comes to YouTube followers. So I can understand them also not giving me a match with him because I wouldn't want to get my ass kicked by me if
Right.
I had 1.5 million YouTube followers. But I think that's exactly what would happen to him if he strapped up women in top row. I think he'd get murdered. So
We got 3 comments, and I really want to stress these because these are awesome. So first, Rush Fritter says all those guys have social media presence, which is true,
yeah, I just
But
said
then I just highlighted this one. Jay Clean says it's a combination of skill and following, right? And I always make the joke that Devin Larrett can probably get 2,000 people, 2,000 hits and likes just for him shoveling snow in his driveway, just because that's who he is, right?
because it's him. Yeah.
Right. So how about this? Preacher says, hey, we'll love to see Wayne at a King of Table versus like a Alex Krdeka or something.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, anybody that's a top roller like that, I think I can jump right in and get after it. I think that Marcio was so explosive,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that Marcio's top roll is better than mine. I think out of all the people in the world, his top roll, I mean, I'm right there. Look at Marcio's background. Uh, Matt Mass beat him, but that was a wall setup.
Right.
Marcio wouldn't pull me in a wall, so he would not do it. Even though Marcio got paid and I didn't. Marcio,
Whoa. Time out. Say that one more time.
Marcio would not pull me in a wall setup. It had to be Waff. I'm way more comfortable in a wall setup. With the wall setup is better for a low hand top roller.
Well, yeah,
So
you got that 2 inches on the back of the pad, right?
right. So Marcio got paid good money to pull me. I got squat. In my opinion, in my mind, I should have been able to do the rules. So I wanted wall. He wouldn't agree to wall, which was smart for him. I think in a wall setup, he would have been in a lot more trouble. But in a wall setup, that's partially my fault too. I should have done my homework better. Uh, Also, Devin Lorette, Marcio don't hook. Marcio gets hooked. Usually, Devin Lorette has to hook him. These other like John Brink usually needs to hook Marcio to beat him. Marcio's top roll is outstanding, out of this world, outstanding. I don't know if it would have mattered that day with the short elbow pads if I could have still beat him in a wall set up, but I think I would have had a better chance. Uh, Besides that, I think I can top roll with just about anybody in the world. I don't. I mean, I'm not going to get crazy and say Levon or something like that, but I got a really good top roll. You know.
Well, right now you got people in the chat that should be your agent right now because you got Jay Clean saying, "Hey, they want to see you versus somebody like Sandris." Freeze says, "Hey, how about you versus Saban or Tobias?" So right now you got a list of people that want to be your agents so they can get those matches set up because you
Yeah.
made an absolute good point. And dare I say, once I get off this show, put on social media with Wayne, he's beating Ron Bath, Matt Mask, Chance Shaw, but yet he's not getting no love. Why is that?
Well, like I say, the first name you mentioned overseas, Sadis or whatever, he struggled with Chance Shaw a little bit. Go
Right.
back watch that match. The first couple of matches, Chance Shaw was loading pretty good, and I absolutely just when Chance tried to low hand top roll me, not a good day, not a good
Right.
day. That was a fast match. Anybody that tries to low hand top roll me, it's not going to be a good day for him.
Well,
Marcel here, he was high, and that wall set up when they said go, so explosive, man. It was just like, I said no, that wasn't a good matchup for me. But I think Tim, he's not going to be that explosive taking off, and I think you're going to see a heck of a match. I may eat my words, but I think when I hit him with that back pressure and wrist, I think it's going to be a little too much for Tim. I hope I'm right, man. That dude is awesome. 2 or 3 time WAF seniors champion. He's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. So I mean, he may get it. I mean, they're as always. I'm not the favorite. I like being the underdog. I was a favorite against Don Underwood, and I did not like that at all. In that first match against Underwood, that high side pressure, he had me in a little trouble. But that little bit of trouble emptied his gas tank. Second,
right.
third, like that. So we'll just
Well, I see your partner in crime is in the house, Mr. BJ Fokakis. He's in the chat right now. So what's up, BJ? How you doing?
Yeah, my man.
But we all want to know, and Preacher Arm Wrestling, the Tim versus Wayne match is next month. It's December 3rd.
Yeah, and speaking of BJ, he's got a match with his son, like a few weeks after that in January. So
talking about Corey?
Yeah, he's got a match with Corey right-handed. I just found that out like yesterday, I think, or the day before.
Oh, okay.
I take the papa, you take the son.
You're just going to start taking out the whole family members, huh?
There's a hit on the Brazan family, so we gotta take them out.
I believe, and this is just me talking out loud. I believe, because your resume speaks for itself. I believe if you do get this win on Tim, then you'll start getting the calls. And I say that because the minute Derek Smith took down Tim, now Derek Smith is getting invited to, East vs. West on 2 occasions. And so I think if this happens, okay, now you're going to start getting phone calls. Either Ingen's going to get a hold of you or freaking Core Sports are going to get a hold of you or something like that,
That would be awesome. Like I said, though, you never know. It can work both ways. I can beat Tim, and they can be like, "Oh, he's over the hill. Tim, he's getting old," or they can offer me the match. We'll just see. I knew when I pulled Corey West, there was no way I could win that match. Corey had already suffered an injury on his left arm.
Yeah, but let's be honest. I was there, and I saw that match, and the problem was that I think you took that match like last minute. Let's be fair.
Yeah, I mean, 3 days notice. I mean,
right.
They're like, hey, and I do. I mean, I'm always in. They wanted to specify that in the interview with Michael Todd. Have you been training? Yeah, I'm always training. Am I training like I would normally train for Matt Mass? No. Marcel Barboza? No. But yeah, I'm in the gym. But go back and look at that match with Corey West. I'm like the only person that opened him up and damn near pinned him 2 times in that match. Go back to that match. I open him up and pull him over to right here, and the slip happens, and it was so close, Travis Bajent called it a win.
Right.
That's something that Corey doesn't see very often. Besides going overseas when he pulled Credetia, yeah, he got beat, but I mean, it wasn't easy. Everybody else Corey pulls is just like, everybody pulls. He just takes it. But a couple of times in that match, he was in trouble against me.
Right.
He won 3-0. Yeah, he won. But like I say, he was going to win no matter. Even if I won the match. He got hurt against Dave Chafee left-handed. But
well, okay. See, here's my thing, and before I get to my theory on that kind of stuff, Jay Clean wants to know if Tim's 56 or 57 years old. I'm not sure, but to go to your comment, Wayne, you said, "Oh, if you beat Tim, he's an old guy." But
I can tell you right now, if I beat him, he'll be 75 fucking years old.
But here's the thing, though. So After that match, Derek beat Tim. Oh, yeah, Tim's all washed up, blah, 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 blah. Then he comes back and smacks Matt Mask. So you really can't say that. But here's the thing. When people say things like, well, yeah, Corey was injured, that kind of stuff. When arm wrestlers make these weird, I talked about this with my teammate. When some of these guys make these weird assumptions, like you beat somebody, right? And they always seem to have that, that crutch they always use, that get out of jail free card in their back pocket. What I mean by that, and you can tell me if you agree, you guys in the chat, same thing. We all know there's that one puller that lost the match they probably shouldn't have lost. And it's like, oh, yeah, I was tired because I had a grinder. Okay, this is a tournament. It's bound to happen, He's tired, or, yeah, it's because so-and-so did this to him. However, when that same person that, oh, he had a grinder, which is why he lost, when he has a victory, none of that's talked about. For me, that bothers me as a competitor. It bothers me. Don't sit there and you can't make it one-sided. It's a double-edged sword. Don't complain about, oh, I lost this match because I had a grinder, or because no, I was tired, or I wasn't really healthy. But when that same person wins, none of that's talked about. That blows my mind. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. With me, they're gonna talk about me regardless. My old country boy draw. It's something about me. I win, I lose, they're going to talk about me, but I can guarantee you this. When I walk into an open tournament, I'm in the back of their mind. They know that there's a 99% chance that they are absolutely screwed. And I'm fixing to whoop that ass when I walk in.
Hey, we can go a step further. Remember what happened last year at the ROTN? You were the target. You were the target. See, Wayne got another phone call.
I get so popular when I get on these podcast shows. Go ahead.
I hope that was Ingen trying to call you.
No, college, man. Like I say, I've been waiting on that call for like 6 freaking hours, and it finally comes when I'm on this podcast show.
No, but like the ROTN last year, the one in Texas, and again, you're the target, because it's like, okay, he's in there with Herman Stevens and all the other guys were in there. We're just like, okay, that's cool, And
man, that was a setup from the backwoods, man. That was, oh god. Go back and watch that film. Everybody was talking about how bad I got screwed because they're like,
oh,
there's a minute left. There's a minute left, and I'm 6 or 7 matches ahead. Now there's 90 seconds, and somehow or another, Herman gets 7 wins in 90 seconds. It takes some people 90 seconds to walk to the freaking table. And Herman, everybody gets there like, hurry, ready to go, letting him win, especially the last guy. And I was talking about him on your last show.
Yeah.
How shitty he done me because Travis Bajan is over here doing something. And I'm not even going to call his name. Now, I called his name on your show last time. But Travis Bajan is over here doing something. And the guy's like, come on, hurry up. Come on. Because he's sitting up there with Herman because the clock's running out. And he needs Herman for Herman to win. And this same guy was talking my ass off throughout the tournament. I got my mouthpiece in. I had to spit my mouthpiece out just to talk to him.
Right.
And he private messaged me right after your show. He's like, man, I just saw that show. I'm sorry about that. And I'm like, dude, too freaking late now. You cost me the damn tournament.
So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, go look up Gary Roberts, ArmTV, Waxahachie, Texas. We were all there because that was an awesome thing because you had 2 tournaments going on. So here, I'm going to go ahead and set the stage so that way everybody knows what's going on. You had 25 guys in that weight class, right? Now we're talking about you, Herman, Chance Shaw, Jonathan Brito. We're talking about some studs up in there, right? Roger Learn, myself, Barry, the list goes on. And the top 8 guys, right, went to the other stage. So basically, we're in a convention center. One side, you got the money class. On the other side, you got a tournament, and then everybody's sitting in the middle. So just to let everybody know how it went down, 25 guys, right? So the top 8 went to the money class. And I think I missed it by like 1 or 2 spots. So the remaining 17 pullers got reshuffled into a regular double elimination tournament on the other stage at the same time. So, you got everybody. I mean, the place was going crazy because on this side, you got everybody trying to take out Wayne. On the other stage, on the opposite side of the auditorium, same area, but it's opposite side, you got the double elimination tournament over there. So I'm thinking, damn, I mean, that was fun. Hey, I took first though. Yes, I did tournament. So got that medal right there. I took first. I'm damn proud of that too. But that was a fun day. But yeah, Wayne was like a big target, and everybody was trying to take him out. And there was some there was some strategy involved in that, and that's basically
That just shows
that's what we're talking about.
how bad I am, Jody. That's how bad of an arm wrestler. That's how awesome I am, because I had no idea that they had changed the rules in that tournament. I
Yeah,
was watching the clock, and Herman Stevens is like, "There's Mississippi slow, and there's what Wayne is doing. Is what Wayne is doing right now. Like, I was doing something ungodly stupid by going straight to the strap. Well, if I would have known it was a time limit, and the time limit was running out, I didn't know, and I still almost won the tournament. They had to cheat their ass off to beat me at the end. But like I say, they had I can't even remember what it was now, but there was a certain set of rules that Friday night.
yeah.
Then they changed everything last minute. And I didn't know this.
I was pissed off, dude.
So if I would have knew this, hell no, I wouldn't have went straight. I had 2 or 3 of Herman's buddies like Jonathan Brito, who looks like a 70s porn star with his mustache. I'll never quit screwing with him, because he was screwing me that much more. And he's like, "You want to go straight to the strap?" I'm like, "Well, shit, yeah, because you damn sure can't beat me in the strap." But I didn't realize that the time, and then after everything was over, then I realized, 90 more seconds and you would have had the money. So I'd have been slow as fuck. I'd have been like, yeah, I'd have pulled him, and then I'd have let him put the strap on, eased into it. So, but like I said, I
right.
didn't know all this until it was over. Nobody told me about the change of plans or the change of the rules. It just
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
And
Rush Shredder, you were there. Russ knows all about. He was there. And
I
see, and
you as well. You didn't know about things changing until it was last minute, right?
right. I mean, they fucked with me at the night before at the bar at the weirdo camera guy thing, because the right handed was like, "Oh, we're doing running fouls," and then we did the left hand. No, we're not doing it. I'm like going, "What the fuck is going on here?" Um, but Russ, you were there. Wayne, you were there. If you want to save time and just to let everybody know in the chat what was going on, whoever won the match all of a sudden had to keep changing sides. If you eliminate that, go look. If you win your match, stay on the A side. That way you can save time. That way, it's not a big clusterfuck, because toward the end, it was almost like speed dating, right? Where it was
Right.
like, oh, hurry, hurry, hurry. You spend too much time swapping sides. Like, no, if you win the match, stay on the, because it was right-handed, right? You win the match, stay on the A side. Travis is right here. Hey, I'm gonna stay right here until I lose. Then I get off the stage. Then the guy who wins, now you're on the A side. Then you just keep going up down the line. That's what should have happened. But it wasn't my event. That's just my perspective on the whole thing. Instead of trying to hurry, 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 that was messed up.
Yeah, the way they done that was screwed up. And then Gary Roberts wants to pay me to come out to Chicago not long after that to his event. It's got the stupidest rule set I've ever heard in my life. It's something that Gary wanted to try, and it kind of flopped Billy up.
Oh, that
Where,
was the one. Didn't you go out there and didn't like Pablo won the belt?
yeah, because we started in a freaking hook, and I told Gary, I said, Gary wanted me to come. Gary wanted me to win, and he's like offering money, and I'm like, Gary, there's no way I can win this tournament. There's no way, because unless nobody shows up, he wanted to start everything in a hook without a strap, no strap. If we did use a strap, it was a stupid Velcro strap that ain't worth a shit. Without a buckle, you need a buckle for a strap. This whole big plan he had, and I'm like, Gary, there's no way I can win this tournament.
I
But it
remember
was
that one because I think
it was
you were
pretty
there.
yeah.
Doug Allen, Pablo. I think Brent Rockers was there. Yeah, yeah, I remember that one. That was the one I
Yeah,
was outside, wasn't it?
Brett Rockers whooped my ass. Pablo, all these guys whooped my ass, and they was all, yeah, big boy. And I'm thinking, you go to a regular tournament with a buckle and a strap, I will smash your ass.
So hey, let's
So,
go ahead. Hey, let's start from the beginning, right? Let's check the score sheet. You got wins over Herman Stevens, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, he went to East versus West. You got a win over Chance Shaw, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's been to East versus West. You got a win on Ron Bath, right?
Oh yeah.
East
Matt,
versus West, right? So I mean, hey, let's do the math, right?
Matt Mask, Ron Bath, Herman Stevens, Chance Shaw. I mean, I beat Derek. Open competition. Derek's never beat me in open competition.
There's 5 people right there that Wayne Withers has beaten, and yet he ain't got no call yet. What the hell's going on over here? You
I
know?
probably think of a couple more. Like I say, that's Derek, Chance, Herman, Ron. Uh, who am I missing? You said 5 people. Derek, Chance,
There's
Herman,
Derek Chance, there's Ron, there's Matt Mask, and
Matt.
then you see, oh, and Herman Stevens.
Sure.
You
Uh,
know, because I mean, think about it. Those are 5 people that you've beaten in legit tournaments, and they've all been on that stage before. Now, granted, you know, Herman was like there last minute. Well, since you're going to be there in the corner of Jonathan Breida, we'll throw you schoolboy. Whatever, you know. But the fact remains that, you know, they've been on the big stage before. And where is Wayne at? Like, what are we doing over here? You know?
well, like I say, like Russ said, and I agree with him 100%. It's social media. It's not how good you are, how good you can arm wrestle, how gritty you are. It's who has got the most YouTube followers, and I mean, like TikTok is something I've only had going now for like a few months. I got like 5,000 followers.
Right.
Uh, the match that I posted with me and Devin has done got like 12K views or whatever.
Yeah.
But you look at some of the arm wrestlers, it's just amateurs.
Yeah.
Good buddies of mine, 14, 15, 20,000 YouTube followers. I mean, TikTok followers. My YouTube channel, forget about it. Devin Lorette posted mine in his match, like 35 or 40,000 people has done viewed it. Nobody joined. I would think like 4 people joined my YouTube. I got like 848 YouTube followers. Now, I
Yeah.
understand,
Don't forget to subscribe to Wayne Withers YouTube, by the way, people.
like if I could just get that 1K, I think they would promote it more and it would start going up. But I'm not going to go out and buy like a professional camera like something Brad Cook's got. You know,
Right.
his nice setup there. I'm not going to get that when I know people are still not going to sign up to me just for the fact that it's me. And it's like I got a hate out. I think I'm one of the most hated arm wrestlers in the world as well because the mere fact that I come out of nowhere and smash Matt Mask. I
Right.
think where a lot of my hate comes from. Oh, that guy's not that good. Matt wasn't ready for that. Well, what it was, I took that match very seriously. I wasn't about to lose that match, and me and Matt pulled very similar. You know, we're both low hand top rollers, so I know all I got to do is make my wrist stronger than his, and I'm going to win that match. But I think I got a lot of heat from that, you know, from that match. Derek, not so much when he beat Tim because Derek had already established a big YouTube following and
Mm-hmm.
he had a lot of supporters. So I think that helped him. There's a lot of ways I could have done things differently and I wouldn't be at the position I'm at. But yeah, that's a lot to do with it. You know, they want people to watch, so it's more social media than anything. You know.
And like I said, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, come on, people. I mean, you know, you're putting in the work, and yeah, I guess you got to have the other portion of it. So I get it, I understand that, you know, but it doesn't change the fact that hey, I got the results. There's footage out there of me beating those guys that you call to have them go across the pond in Turkey and compete. You got a legit, you know, hey, you got a legit gripe is where I'm getting at.
Maybe he don't want the Europeans to lose. Hey, I'm cool with that. I'll go over there and pull an American. I'll pull somebody from North America.
Yeah,
Because
but see, the
sometimes
thing
they
is
got.
though, you shouldn't have to go to Turkey to pull somebody from North America. You can just stay right here. Matter of fact, I could probably get a hold of Tim Talmadge now. As soon as this Washington State Championship tournament's over next month, you know, he's going to let Christmas come and go. And then as soon as January hits, he's going to start working on Arizona State. And I know good and damn well we'll probably have you back there again, you know?
Man, that'd be awesome. I want to go back out there. That was man, that's crazy how time flies. That was almost a year ago,
I
Jody.
know. That's
And me
crazy, huh?
shooting
I'm
a
ready to
bull
go back
out
out there
back.
again.
We was shooting a bull out back, and I was telling you some of my life story, and your eyes was like, I can't believe this guy. You know, I'm sitting here talking to this crazy dude from Mississippi.
See, here's the thing, and everybody in the chat, and by the way, David Green, my teammate, just subscribed to your channel, Wayne. So there you go. Um,
You're the man.
what you got to realize is that when you go to these big events, right? They don't have to be, outside the country, but when you go to these big events and you get all these plethora of stars and athletes here, and when it's not arm wrestling, we're just hanging out. Wayne and I are at the hotel, and you got to remember it's in Arizona, so it's hot as shit, by the way. So we outside in the patio, right? And we're just shooting the breeze because at this point we're kind of waiting. Oh yeah, my plane leaves in about a few hours. So by this point, everybody done left. So it's just me and Wayne just kicking it because at this point, everybody left first thing in the morning or early afternoon. Me and Wayne are just kicking it, just shooting the breeze. Those are the things that you realize, right? Then we sit there. Let's go ahead and get this Uber to the airport and shit. And of course, Wayne's like, "Oh yeah, you got to stay longer." So man, I know that was kind of messed up, but still, it's the memories about that. That was fun and everything like that the night before. But before I go ahead and cut you loose, you got one more question from Jay Clean. He says, "Can you ask Wayne what match he's looking forward to the most on the upcoming East versus West show?"
Upcoming East, man, that's a tough one. Because you got Chafee versus Gasparini, right?
Yeah, I
That is,
mean, me and Ryan Espy just did the show Monday. We went over all our picks and everything. So,
who'd you pick out of that one?
I picked Chafee, and I said that, and I got a lot of flack from it, which is fine, but whatever. But because I said this is the reason why I picked Chafee, right? Because what I saw from Dave against Vitali, you know, when he was able to in the strap, able to hit sideways and turn into a press and transition and press down on that long ass arm of Vitali. If by chance they do get in the strap, I'm picking Dave.
Yeah,
Now Ermis might be quicker out of the strap. Dave may catch him here, but in a strap, Dave's going to load up where he may hit, but then Dave may catch that hit. And if
yeah,
they happen to go into a strap there, he's in trouble.
yeah,
And by the way, you got to remember, Ermis has 2 matches that day because he's also pulling Artem Morozov for the left-handed world title. So you got two things going on. And if excuse my language, if you, or no, never mind, this is my show. I say what the fuck I want. If Morozov beats Ermis and Ermis blows all his load left-handed on the Morozov, what does he have in the tank left for a motivated, fresh Dave Chafee who has his earbuds just watching and waiting? And
yeah,
that's why I picked Dave. I understand that there's two different arms, but we all know I've had super matches before at a tournament where I pull both hands. Matter of fact, I got one coming up next month in about 4 weeks. I got them both hands. Some way, somehow, it's going to take something out of you. And I'm sorry, but when you got two studs like Morozov and Chafee, don't sit there and act like, one doesn't have nothing to do with the other. It does. That's just my opinion.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a big fan of Devin Lorette, and I hope he wins his match, man. I'm not real crazy about the guy that he's pulling. I don't know why, but I'm really, really not crazy about Hermes Gasparini. I do not like that dude. I'm saying publicly right now, I do not like Hermes. I hope Dave Chafee squashes his ass. I hope Hermes loses the left hand match. There's something about that guy. I don't know. I think the way that he acted when Matt Mass beat him, the way that he was, putting it online and saying, "Well, if this would have happened or that would have happened," and the
Are you
way that
talking about that WAL match?
yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
like the way he handled that. I didn't like the way he offered Matt 10 grand to come overseas and pull him. I think he should just took the ass whooping and went on about his business. But he was just like he was, in my opinion, he was a crybaby about it. The way he acted after the wall match and the way he acted when he offered him 10 grand to come back and pull him. Like I got to beat this guy. Like he's here and everybody else is here. I don't like that.
Right.
I really don't like that guy. I hope Dave Chafee smashes his ass. And not only that, I hope I get the opportunity to go overseas and smash his ass one day to boot.
Please.
Uh, I,
I'm
I
waiting.
think in a wall match, wall setup, I think I would do the exact same thing to Matt Mass did. Now, I'm learning this wall setup. I'm not as used to it
Yeah.
because when I was coming up, before I started winning a lot of matches, before I started getting pretty good, everything was WL.
Yeah.
So we all had to change over to the wall style. And going back to the WAF, even like Michael Ty, going from the WAF setup over to the WL, Michael Todd struggled. He was taking some losses to some guys that he
And
should.
so was Marcel Barboza. He was
Yeah,
doing that too, you know.
right.
The two big matches on the card everybody talks about, obviously Chafee and Gasparini, and then this other one I got highlighted by Jay Clean. He said Prutnik against Devin match will be a clown show. Each round will take 15 minutes. I hope not, because they need to get the rules going. But I said Devin's going to win 3-0, and this is why I say that. Number one, Devin is pulling somebody, and I guess the weight cap is 253. They're going to meet there. Devin is a better athlete or a better puller at that weight than him trying to be 290, trying to pull Levon. Okay. You
Yeah,
don't want to play mind games with Devin. That's probably the wrong person you want to play mind games with. Because even Devin realized that, okay, I'm going to play mind games with Levon because Levon is that much more stronger than me. But I think Devin found out that he doesn't fucking speak a lick of English anyway, so it's probably not going to bother him. And then he knew that, okay, well, maybe I'll play the mind game and try to drain him out. Didn't matter. He's just too much. He's too much man. Fine, whatever. Now you get Devin to come back down to 253. Oh, and you're going to play games with him? No, sir. No,
no,
sir. And I
no,
said this on record. Devin's going to win 3-0. Put
oh
it
yeah.
in the bank. That's how I feel.
It'll be a bigger surprise to me if Devin loses than it will if Dave loses, just because the Devin is so technical on that table. I mean, he can, like when I started giving him pressure in certain places. Uh, when I started giving him pressure, he's moving around that. He knows right where to go, and I think it was just Levon was so freakishly strong that Devin just couldn't get around it. And who knows if Devin hadn't have took that injury in the second round, he might have made Levon. I don't think he's going to beat Levon, but he might have made him work a little harder than what he did. But that Keys move is on point with Devin. No, I don't see that guy beating Devin at all. 3-0, like you said, 3-0. You know.
I tell you what, Wayne, and everybody in the chat, hear me when I say this. If for some reason, and I think it might happen, if Dave Chafee wins, because remember, prior to Jerry Cataract getting hurt, okay, what was the talk? Oh, the winner of the Gasparini Jerry match automatically has the next match with Levon. Okay. Jerry gets hurt. In comes Dave Chafee. We already know what happened at King of the, at the last, Dave already lost to Levon, right? So I'm thinking, okay, if Dave beats Ermis, it's like, damn, now question mark. Who is it
Yeah.
going to be? You know, is it going to be, hey, Jerry Catara's feeling good now? Can I get my shot Levon now? What, even though he didn't have to pull Ermis? And there's where all the politics come from, thinking, okay, here we go. You know, are we going to see Chafee and Levon again? I don't know. If Devin beats Prudnik, you know, because remember, now that he came down a weight class, Michael Todd, who was the original opponent for Prudnik, came down a weight class. You know, he was supposed to get that title shot. If Devin wins, do we need to see Michael versus Devin for the 24th time? I really don't want to see that again. I
Uh-huh.
really don't. I mean, we've seen that so many times in North America. It's like, dude, we need something else. But yes, we need some more fresh meat up in there. We need some more new blood. Somebody call Ingen. Get Wayne Withers on the phone. Get him out there. You
Yeah, man.
know,
And Pat's, yeah, man. Egan, man, what's up, man? Give me a call. I mean, I know you see me out there. You can't be blind. Some of these guys you sending over there, no. But hats off, man, to my man Dave Chafee and Jerry Cataract. It's time somebody from North America started whooping some ass overseas, and they've
yes.
been just that, just that. And Devin, man, he's going to do the same thing, man. Uh, Levon, come on, man. I mean, it take freaking Superman to beat that guy. But anybody else, Devin Lorette, he's right there. He's easily my number 2 in the world right now, easily behind Levon. So
I mean,
yeah, he's going to win.
tell me, I mean, seriously, you send, if we're talking about, you know, the super heavies in North America, you can't say Devin no more. He dropped down a weight class. It's either Chafee or it's, you know, Jerry that's going to spearhead it, you know, where you got Derek Smith and Chan Shaw in the back seat along with Corey West. Well, guess what? You've beaten Derek Smith. You've beaten Chan Shaw. Yeah, you lost to Corey West, but that was only like a 3-day notice. If you train for it now, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you need to run that back again and say, look, I belong on the stage because here's Corey West. He beat Ryan Espy. Next thing you know, boom, he gets on the king of the table. Didn't do too well versus
Alex,
Kardeka.
I was
Wayne, what
taught,
the
man,
hell?
back when the wall was so hot and heavy and the wall offered me the contract, back before the season, before 601 went down, I was supposed to have a match. So I was the big talk back then, and uh, Neil Pickup was on a podcast show talking to Alex Kardec, and he was saying, this Wayne Weathers guy, he's gonna be in your future, mate. I remember watching that podcast show back then, but that I was tailor made for the wall, Jody. Like I say, they're
Right,
set up, they're everything uh, favors the low hand top roller. Uh, you can go back and watch Matt Mass destroy Marcio and clearly see that the setup for a low hand, the way it sets up.
right.
Uh, that was everything for Wayne Weathers. It was going to be WL 601. What's my area code, Mississippi? I'm a 601 guy. Everything. And like I say, it was kind of like the guy that was singing on the street corner in Nashville for pennies and he gets his record contract and it goes bad, because I got the contract. You come in here for your photo shoot that Monday night. Tuesday night, you're going to have your match. August 11th, WL 601. And then,
Mm-hmm.
like I say, it goes south because of COVID. But I'm not going to complain because a lot of people lost their lives over COVID. I'm still
Right.
here. So, but anyway, yeah, I think a motivated, trained up Wayne Weathers in the WAL in that setup. I think Corey West is better be ready if that match happens. But outside of that dude, on that short pad and that waft setup, Corey, he's hard to beat. He's much of a man. He's strong. But
I tell you what, man. I dubbed this year 2022 the year of opportunities, and I'm gonna just say let's just run it back one more time. 2023 is gonna be the year of opportunities for a lot of us out there. A lot of us pullers want to get these opportunities. I don't care if it's Arm Wars, King of the Table, East First West. If Michael Todd decides to do another Monster Factory, that too. IFA Worlds, whatever. It's gonna be the year of opportunities part two. That's what I foresee in 2023.
and if
That's just how I feel.
you're listening, man, like I say, I'm down like 4%. My battery's about to die, Jody, but I've had such a good time. But don't forget, you said Monster Factory. My man BJ, you know who he's pulling there in December, right? You know who? Yeah.
Uh well, I know Corey West is pulling Cody Merritt. Who is BJ pulling?
He's pulling Chance Shaw.
Woo! Okay, so let me ask you a question. Chance Shaw got the following. If BJ wins, does BJ get the call saying, hey, this is Ingen, come to Turkey? What the hell?
I would be more happy for my man BJ going to Turkey than me. I think that much of BJ. BJ is the reason I'm as strong as I am. He's we've went back and forth for a long time now. I've had his number for the last 3 or 4 years. He hasn't got a win on me in a long time, but I would be more tickled for them to call BJ than me. Hey, I've had some bigger matches. I've had some better opportunities. I've gotten out there. BJ deserves to go. So yeah, BJ, if you're listening, you whoop Chance Shaw's ass in December, and you get your ass over to Turkey, and you win a match.
And I will, in my Ingen voice, I will say this: listen, you need to get to hold of BJ, because I'm telling you right now, even at the Monster Factory, people have made a statement there. How you think Paul Lynn got the East First West? He beat Ron Bath at the Monster Factory. I'm telling you right now, and
Yeah.
and it sucks, Wayne, is the fact that I really want to watch that card, but guess what? That's on the same day as Washington State, December 10th.
Yeah.
And the two co-main events, you got BJ versus Chance, you got Cody Merritt versus Corey West. Michael had to pull out versus John Brazil because of an injury, but damn it to hell, man. I'm telling you, those kind of events, all you need is that opportunity. Rush Schrader, you're in the you're in the chat. Are you listening? Yes. All we need is that opportunity, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, we just need opportunity. That's all it comes down to.
Unless they've changed something, because BJ has took the match with Corey Brazilian in January. So I don't know if something happened between him and Chance Shaw, but that match is supposed to be in December.
And by the way, Jay Clean, And Freeze said Paul Lynn versus Pablo will also be there too.
My man, I'm on 1%, so I got to get out of here. But hey, I appreciate
right.
you. Thank you, man, for having me on.
Hey, man, it was awesome. We've been on here for an hour and a half, which is probably the world's quickest hour and a half ever. But Wayne, good luck to you versus Tim President. Man, we'll keep in touch.
We'll see you, brother. Take it easy. Out.
Take care. Take care.
Later.
Later.